Hey, this is Danielle from Black Business Boom, and I am joining you today live with Dr. Rashawn Ray from AIR Equity Initiatives. We're going to be talking a little bit about an event coming up tomorrow here in Nashville, taking place at Meharry. I'm really excited to hear more about this event, Pathways to Peace. And if you want to come on out tomorrow, which you'd absolutely should, hit the link in the chat to be able to register for the event. Dr. Rashawn Ray, welcome. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on today. I'm so excited to engage with you and your audience.
Absolutely. Well, tell us, what is AIR?
Yeah, so AIR is the American Institute for Research. We are a research organization, been around since 1946. And what we did recently was we launched the AIR Equity Initiative, which I happen to be the vice president and executive director of. It is an over $100 million investment to address systemic inequalities in local communities. So we're here in Nashville because we view Nashville as an up and coming place, a place that's growing, and a place that's community ready, that's also had some challenges. And we oftentimes come into areas, we fund research, evaluation, strategic planning, and technical assistance to help lift up local communities, aiming to address segregation by race and place.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And so you have an event tomorrow at Meharry. Tell us a little bit about the event.
Yeah, we are so excited about this. This is our AIR Equity Initiative working at the Intersection Symposium. Part of what we do with this symposium is we go around to different cities and engage with local communities. This particular event is Pathways to Peace, focusing on youth justice and public safety. On the heels of the Covenant school shooting, on the heels of what has been happening locally with gun violence, on the heels of what has transpired with some police brutality and police misconduct incidents, we wanted to come here and bring together community leaders to have a joint conversation about police violence and gun violence, two conversations that rarely happen together. So we are bringing researchers from across the United States who are experts on policing, gun violence, community justice, and the like, and also pairing them up with local practitioners, everyone from elected officials such as Councilman Brandon Taylor to Dr. Lavelle Allen, who is the first Black chief of emergency radiology at Vanderbilt University, where individuals are often taken during violent incidents, and even Jill Fitchard, who runs the Community Oversight Board here in Nashville, to come together to have a conversation. And we're so excited because Grammy nominated singer Aloe Black will be here in Nashville moderating this event and really talking about the ways that he cares about social justice.
That is amazing. It sounds like you all have been very thoughtful in the planning of this event and having the right folks in the room. How can the community get involved and support this event or any of the work that AIR is doing here in Nashville?
Yeah, well, look, I think the first way that the community can get involved is to come out tomorrow. Come out on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. at Meharry, free public event. We also have artists that will be displaying their art, local artists, artists who are coming from different places, and their art isn't just about anything. It is tailored toward pathways to peace and addressing gun violence and police violence in local communities. The second way is people can go to AIR.org and also follow AIR Informs on all social media platforms to see all of the work that we're doing. We have over 50 grantees with the AIR Equity Initiative. We fund individuals in most states in the United States and even in other countries, including in Africa, Zambia, Tanzania, and even in places like India and Mexico. So we have a large footprint, a large portfolio. And part of what we're going to be doing with Nashville is thinking about ways to move forward. So we want local organizations to come out. We want community members to come out. Tell us what you're working on. Tell us what you're doing. Engage with us so that then when we come back, we will be able to partner with individuals long term and really think about making systemic change here in Nashville. And look, I finally have to say this because I haven't said it yet. I'm originally from Murfreesboro. I'm a Tennessee boy. So this area is home to me. This is an area that I used to come to regularly growing up, well, being in inroads, going to different places to frequent frequent socially. And so part of coming to Nashville is really personal for me. And I want to make sure that we center the people in the community, particularly in North Nashville, at Meharry, at TSU, at Fisk, at the like, who we know have been marginalized throughout not only their lifetime, but also historically, as we know that the highway kind of went through that part of Nashville, even when it was thriving, when it was predominantly Black and upperly mobile. So we're coming to help address those issues and think about ways to help uplift the community.
That's amazing. Really excited about this conversation. What is the conversation? What is it going to look like? I know we have a moderator. We have folks coming out that are, politicians, and we have a panel of people. But as a community member, or if I have a community organization and I have something that I want to talk about, do I come in, with those ideas? What does the conversation look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're going to be in a classroom auditorium space where people will really be able to engage. There'll be two panels. We'll hear research from AIR Equity Initiative interns who'll be talking about school suspensions in Nashville and how that disproportionately affects Black and American Indian students. And then we're going to have researchers and practitioners from across the country, including Nicholas Sensley, who calls Middle Tennessee home, former police chief, who runs the Institute of American Police Reform. They're going to share the work that they've been doing to address inequality in local communities and push toward peace. The second panel will feature our local experts. And in both panels, the audience will be able to ask questions, will be able to engage with us before and after the event. As I said, we're going to have an art expo that's going to be set up. We're going to also ask people survey questions to give us feedback, but there'll definitely be opportunities for people to raise their hands, to engage, to speak to the panelists, to speak with AIR staff members that will be here. There are several of us that are already here in Nashville. So there'll be a lot of opportunities to engage and also sit back and listen to what the experts are saying might actually be working here in Nashville that can be built upon.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. So you're doing amazing work with AIR Equity Initiative. What does success look like if we're looking at 5 years down the line here in Nashville? The community has shown up. We've come together. We've heard the research. We've put together a plan. Then what? What does success look like for this initiative?
Excellent question. Look, I think what success looks like is building up the assets here in Nashville that already exist and aiming to reduce the inequality that's currently here. For example, we want to ensure that individuals who are in local communities have the ability to stay in the places where they live. We want to make sure that gun violence starts to decrease and goes away. We want to make sure that when individuals interact with police, that they are interacting with the individuals they consider to be a part of their community, not just coming to police and surveil their community. And I think part of what it looks like, particularly in North Nashville, is people feeling as though that more equity has been had, that they have more education opportunities, that they have more work opportunities. And that's one of the places where we're going with the Equity Initiative. We're going to be making huge research, evaluation, and strategic planning investments in communities around the country. And so we hope that when we come back in 5 years, that we see these improvements, a reduction in these gaps, but also seeing a reduction in arrest, a reduction in imprisonment, and instead an increase in educational attainment, an increase in people's household income, and helping more people get job opportunities and actually living in homes that they actually own.
That's beautiful. And my last question for you is, you've mentioned North Nashville, and me being here for the last 7 years, I can kind of see how things are disproportionate in the North Nashville community. But I would just love to hear from your perspective why the emphasis and why there needs to be emphasis on North Nashville in doing some of this work.
So when we look at North Nashville, there was a report that came out of the Brookings Institution that showed that the zip code in North Nashville actually had the highest incarceration rate of Black males of any other zip code in the United States. Any other zip code in the United States. I mean, people in Nashville need to think about that when they get to talking about other cities, Baltimore, St. Louis, Memphis, and the like. And that needs to be addressed. And the way that that's addressed is not about over policing. That's actually addressed through education opportunities and work opportunities. As I mentioned before, we know that there is a historical legacy here. That if we go back decades before I-40 ran its way through Middle Tennessee, we know that North Nashville was a thriving, predominantly black middle class community. It's the reason why Meharry, TSU, and Fisk and all of these historic HBCUs are in that particular area. And we need to ensure that individuals have equitable opportunities to be upwardly mobile, to get a fair shot in life. And so when we look at North Nashville, people like to look at individuals, but we have to start looking at rezoning. We have to start looking at redistricting and the way that things are happening in and around schools, the way that things are happening with individuals who are renting versus owning. And these are the particular issues that we're going to be bringing to bear at our Pathways to Peace Symposium on Thursday at 6:30 at Meharry, is to raise up these issues to make the links between people's individual outcomes and their structural conditions that actually control them. So I really hope that people come out, share your voice, participate in the community. It's a free event. It's going to be great. It's going to be powerful. And we definitely want to hear from you, because part of what we do at the AIR Equity Initiative is that we center the community. We lift up the assets. And we can only do that when the community actually shows up and engages with us.
Amazing. That was really beautiful. Somebody said, teach the people, bro, Rashawn Ray. I love it. I was sitting there cracking up looking at that comment, but you really are, you really are teaching us and inspiring us as well here today. So I really appreciate you so much for joining us. So for those, if they missed it, if they just tuned in and they want to learn more about the event or they want to attend the event tomorrow, give us just a quick synopsis. What are we doing tomorrow here in Nashville, and how can folks get involved?
Yeah, so the AIR Equity Initiative is an over $100 million investment to address segregation by race and place. On Thursday, October 12th, 6:30 p.m. at Meharry, we're having a free event bringing in national experts, also including local experts, to come together for a community conversation for you all here in Nashville at Meharry at 6:30 p.m. So come out, raise your voice, participate, tell us what's going on in your community, and let's continue to create a pathway toward peace.
Wonderful. A whole commercial. I love it. And I've dropped a link to register in the comments. It is www.air.org/pathways to peace. So go ahead and register free of charge. Come out and show up and use your voice in the community to be heard and bridge this gap that we have here in Nashville. Again, I thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Ray. It was great having this conversation with you, and we look forward to the work that we'll see you do here in Nashville.
Thank you so much. Keep doing the great work that you do to bring a voice for people to learn about businesses, to learn about ways that they can be autonomous and upwardly mobile. I just appreciate what you do in your community.
Love it. Thank you so much.